what do you know about the situation in and of itself?
Well,
What's your feeling? And first off,
I heard,
welcome to the couch.
thank you, sir. Thank you. I heard a little bit ship about the signal stuff. I saw the couple clips, but I didn't really pay it too much attention as far as what the whole dynamics were intertwined, what was going on with the I guess the leaked messages or the confidential messages that was, I guess, released. I didn't really understand what was going on with that, but you know that I was one of them people that voted for Trump, so I'm actually happy here.
So is that how we're gonna leave it? We just gonna whoa, and I missed everybody reaction to that. Is that how we're gonna leave it? Is just that we're happy he's here. We're not gonna go into any more details of first off, there's so many things that I want to talk about with
Well,
that.
I
But
want to.
but first let's talk about the subject that we have at hand, because that's how I like to handle things. We're going to talk about the subject that we have at hand. Do you think, number one, it is a big deal of what happened? Do you think anybody should be held accountable for what happened?
Certainly. You know what I'm saying? When any mistake is happening in an organization, their heads will roll sometimes depending on what occurs, and somebody has to answer for those issues. It may not be the number one person. It may be who that issue was, who that was delegated to, but somebody gonna have to answer for the issue if it comes a problem, and you know.
All right. So second question is, do you believe that Trump administration and Fox News and all of them is gaslighting right now by saying that it wasn't classified, that everything was okay, that the biggest problem was having a unauthorized person on the call versus having, or not on the call, on a chat, versus having the chat on Signal to begin with, when you have multi-billion-dollar networks to have those conversations on? So that's the first question: is, do you think it was a problem on being on Signal to begin with? Let's start with that. Do you think that was a problem to begin with?
If somebody was in the mix of a conversation that was confidential and could jeopardize national security, then that's a problem.
So you didn't really answer the question. My question is, again, was being on Signal in and of itself, having these conversations that are government conversations, is that in and of itself a problem?
I may not understand what Signal is. You're saying it like it's a platform.
Signal is an app, quite like WhatsApp or your DMs and stuff like that. But it is they consider it more encrypted than your regular iMessage.
No, that's a problem. You shouldn't even be
Okay.
using anything
Okay.
encrypted that isn't already top level security that you got to go through several firewalls to get through.
Yeah. Okay.
You should be playing with it like that, especially with the point. If you're gonna shut down TikTok and then you're gonna go on TikTok to message government information, you know what I'm saying? That's what are we doing?
My brother, first off, I want to say I appreciate your intellectual honesty with that answer. Okay, I appreciate that. That was intellectually honest right there. Okay, so now we know it was a problem being on to begin with. So we didn't got to go if it need to be classified, this, that, and the other. Now we're gonna go straight to the heart, because we done got rid of all the frivolous bullshit. So I've heard intellectual honest answers. So I'm gonna go to strictly. You said you are happy he is in office. Why? Time is yours.
I'm happy Trump is in office because it seems like when any other president or Democrat is in office, we don't seem to have these conversations or be this active in anything. It seems like to me when there's a Democrat in office, Biden, Obama, whoever, it seems like we think everything cool and we don't get active in the community. We don't move with this sense of urgency when another party is in office. It just seems to me like that moves, and I'm for action. I'm for movement, and if this what gets us moving, I'm all for it.
All right, so I'm gonna break that down real quick.
First of all, you should ask,
Oh,
does anybody agree with that?
hold on, no, let me. I don't agree with it. I don't agree with it.
Okay, I mean, I don't think anybody in here agrees with it except
I
for
don't
Ruth.
think I definitely don't agree with it. But I'm gonna just say this. You equating that to Trump is like saying my my grandfather Robert the First was born in Dothan, Alabama, where lynchings and all kinds of shit happened. Right? That's like me saying me living in Dothan, Alabama, saying I'm gonna vote for the mayor that is cool with lynchings because he got everybody else boycotting the buses. Let me say that again. That's like saying I am cool and I'm going to vote for this mayor that have the hood on. He out there with the with throwing the burning crosses out on my goddamn steps. He out there doing that, and because he gonna get all the rest of my people to protest and do what we need to do as a people, get us moving forward. So I'm willing to go 5 steps back because lynchings was on the way out. We weren't there yet, but we was moving toward it. We was moving toward it, and here we are. I'm willing to go back 3 steps to take maybe 4 steps forward if we're lucky. All right, so I'm gonna give you a chance to respond, and then I'm gonna open up for everybody else to talk because I know they all want to. Go ahead, brother. And first off, again, thank you for joining the conversation. Uh, again, this is what I want. I want us to have these different viewpoints in these discussions in a respectful, mannerful way. So go ahead, my brother. Again, Ruben.
From what I understand in history, it was a certain point in time when Malcolm X met with the Ku Klux Klan. Now, I'd rather deal with a man who's going to be honest in my face than smile to me and stab me in the back. I can respect that man more than I can respect the man who stabs me in the back. I have no quarrel with the issue. If it's a problem between me and you, then I'm cool with that. But when you play with me in my face, act like you cool with me and you not, that's an issue for me. That's just how I see it. I'd rather deal with the man who I know doesn't like me than the man who plays like he does. And if it takes dealing with the man who doesn't like us for us to put some action into what we speak on, because if you really want to look at the history of it all, we haven't progressed. What step forward did we make? What points do we have on the board? We have no points on the board. When you beg somebody to give you what is awarded to every human being through God, you haven't earned anything. You just annoyed a person long enough for them to say, I'm going to change something, but I'm not going to change for real. The fact that we're dealing with issues that occurred hundreds of years ago is in itself evidence of the problem. We want to talk about it, but we don't want to do about it. I once asked you, I don't know if you remember, Bobby. I asked you, you could have been joking at the time. I once asked you if you were willing to stop watching NFL and NBA if it meant us being in a better place. And you said, I'm not giving up my football team. I don't know if you remember that. I don't want to put nothing on you.
No. That's a true statement. That's a true. And I went back and forth not only with you, with my brother Black about it. Like, absolutely, you are absolutely correct about that. You're absolutely correct about that.
Ownership. What do we own? We cannot guarantee. And somebody said it. A great many of those on this video call have served in the military, including my mother Holly. 30 years served. Salute, giant in her own right.
Absolutely.
Greatest to me. I don't know anyone better. But her 30 years in the service did not provide me safety in this country. That's just the facts of life. When I walk outside, I'm just the same as anybody else. Her 30 years did not get me any safer before she started to when she was after. Now, I was able to see a few different things. I was able to get the education. I was able to learn that. But when I step outside that door, my education, her 30 years, means nothing to them police. It means nothing to that judge. It means nothing to my boss or anybody I work with. It only means something to me. So if we can fight for a country, if we can spend 30 years fighting for a country who still doesn't respect us, I can spend my time in these streets working with the community the same way.
But you still haven't, and I really want to, and I got it. You still haven't answered my question of which is simply how can you vote for somebody that wants to take you back? And I'm gonna just leave that there. I'm gonna leave, go
I
ahead.
apologize.
No,
Maybe I was
because the only reason I'm saying that because I had to get that out, but I want to I want to open it up to everybody. I know Keith
no.
want to talk.
Maybe
I know everybody that want to have this conversation with you here.
I don't want any confusion. I want to make it.
So if you can't answer that one question for me here in a minute, and then I'm gonna open up to everybody else. How can you vote for somebody that literally says he want to take you back? Then go ahead and answer. I'm gonna give you a minute to answer that. Then I'm gonna open up to everybody else.
If your freedom came with a law behind it, you never had it in the first place. Go ahead.
All right, Keith, you're first up. You're at the top. Let's go.
Oh, I disagree with almost everything he said. I just take issue with him saying that 30 years his mother, military, the things that she provided for him. I just take issue with that. Him having the freedom to do what he just did right now is something that came from his mom. He was able to go to his neighbor and get on his neighbor's Wi-Fi with a freedom that he would never have had his mom not given him what he has right now. Because without that, he would be in the street or incarcerated or with drugs right now. So all that with mom, 30 years in the military, didn't give me anything. She gave him freedom that he could never have possibly had, the education he could have never possibly had without her. So all of that goes, you can't ask your mom to solve all of the nation's problem by serving in the military for 30 years. So it's just his basis of things that he's saying. It's just rooted in just, to me, just arrogance and a want to just be different than everybody else. That's all it's rooted in to me. And
all right,
that's all I want to say.
Ruben,
I don't want to argue anymore.
I'm gonna give you a couple of minutes to say that, and then we got to go to the next person because this here we go.
Oh, I'm down with me.
Yeah. Go ahead, Ruben. The floor is yours. You got a couple of minutes to answer that.
First and foremost, your opinion is your opinion.
Mm-hmm.
Me and my mother have had these conversations on numerous occasions. She knows she is the height that I hope to reach at one day in my life, in my career, with my trade and the things that I do. But I know when it comes to my people and those who look like me, and she's done amazing things. She's taken me to Thanksgiving, we would go to the homeless shelter and we would feed the homeless for Thanksgiving. She's taken me and showed me different places in the world I would never see. But that doesn't hide me. Spending your life in the military is not the same as coming out here in the regular world with regular people and it's not the same. The camaraderie isn't there. The feelings aren't there. They aren't all under the same honor, duty. That isn't there. You're all on your own out here. So y'all come together is something that everybody else in the United States doesn't see. I learned that when I was so blinded at a time, living in the military, when I got around real family in the city and saw how they were living compared to how I lived and how they viewed the country compared to how I viewed the country, looking at my mama as my hero and knowing that everything she's doing, I'm still black. They'll still call me nigga. They'll still follow me in the store. They've done this on the military base at the Navy Exchange. I've experienced this on military bases. So the problem isn't the president. The problem is us and how we allow other people to disrespect us and how we think everything is a game and a joke. We can't talk out our problems. when your child is at school getting bullied, I'm in with this. When your child is at school getting bullied and going through issues, you don't tell them to talk about it when the people keep putting their hands on you. Like,
I got
I'm gonna
one.
my mic.
All right. So how can you vote for somebody to disrespect you? You just went on a tangent about we're disrespected. So how can you vote for a man that literally, literally, and I know you watched last week's episode,
Yes,
literally disrespects you?
that's respect to me because he can openly disrespect me. That's respect as opposed to acting like you like me, but disrespecting me behind my back. I'm gonna look at you in your face and know you don't like me, and I can deal with that. I'd rather deal with you not liking me to my face than trying to pat me on the back and smile in my face and tell me that if I don't vote for you, I ain't black. Come on, man. We're talking about two old white people, white men that don't know nothing about our life, that ain't gonna change nothing about our day to day.
We didn't
We
have a white man.
arguing about
We had a
we
black
still
woman
solved
versus
our
a white
own
man.
problem.
We had a black woman versus a white man. But before we go,
I'm
I just want go ahead. I want to let Philly sister talk because she raised her hands and she got something pertinent to say. Go ahead.
I have a question to you, brother, that voted for Trump. You said you weren't, he's inspiring change, but didn't Barack Obama do that for you? Once Barack Obama got elected, I saw brothers wearing suits every day because they were so inspired by him and his accomplishment. His slogan was pretty much like change. We have hope to change, or whatever it was, but it was there. Like that is a form of inspiration. His accomplishment is a form of inspiration. So that didn't inspire you to do more in your community above what you do already. I saw a whole host of people out there doing things when he was elected. So that's my question to you.
um I don't believe my words were inspired change, but I understand what you were asking me. When Barack Obama ran for president, I knew it was a problem. That's when I said, I gotta step back and see what the heck is going on.
And who did you vote for?
I didn't. I didn't vote at all. I sat back and watched what was going on because it was looking funny to me. It was looking real funny to me. I'm like, hold on now. This ain't looking right. I gotta see what's going on. So I didn't get involved during that time. I just played the backfield to see what everybody was gonna do and how it was gonna play out because I was cautious of the whole scenario.
Oh, hold on. So you're a black man that's pro black that didn't vote for the
To
first
definitely,
truly viable black man that could win the presidency.
I'm not playing the color game.
Wait,
I'm not playing the color.
But it's not about color
it's not.
to a perspective. It's not about color, or to a point rather. But his resume is extensive compared to the two people I believe he ran against. It was extensive. So it's about merit at that point.
I don't care. I don't care as much for the president as I care about who the chief of police is in my county or in my city than it is the state attorney. These are people I can reach out and touch. These are people who I can really communicate with. Those are the people who really matter.
I
When we
agree with you on that.
when
I
we
agree with you on that.
I don't want to interrupt you, sister, because
Oh,
we
I'm sorry. Go ahead. I'm
no
sorry.
go ahead. Sorry.
No, I was going to say I agree with you on that because Chrissy Houlihan is actually out of my district in Pennsylvania, and best believe when I get back to Pennsylvania, I'm going to her office and say, "Hey, why were you one of the 7 people that voted against Al Green to
Yeah.
silence him during that talk or whatever it was that the president gave? Why would you do that?" because he was out there protecting my rights. I'm going to her office in Westchester, Pennsylvania.
All right. We have a new member to the council. I just
Much
want to come
respect
here
to you. Much respect.
I first
Can I
off,
just ask one question, Chip? Before you
absolutely,
introduce?
as Ruben's mother, absolutely. You always gonna have the floor. Whenever you can pull that card whenever you
And
need it.
I'm not gonna belabor it because, like he said, we have these conversations, Ruben and I. And what do I tell you, Ruben? I can't talk politics with you. I'm hanging up now. I can't talk to him. I can't. We'll start it off and we'll be going fine, and then he'll come off the deep end. But here's my thing: is
But
he
I
said,
run the conversation.
say again. He says he's all about the people of color, advancement. But he voted for Trump, who blatantly has no care in the world about anybody of color. That's just obvious. And then it just boggles my brain. And maybe Ruben, you can now answer this publicly as to why you was just at a Black Panther meeting 2 weeks ago. Literally, and I'm not, this is literally, he was at a Black Panthers meeting about 2 weeks ago, but you support a man that got rid of anything that advanced Black people. Any and everything, he's getting rid of that. Explain that to the people.
Only people who can advance Black people is Black people. That's right.
See, that's why I can't
But
handle
you wouldn't vote for the Black people. You don't vote for the Black people. I mean, we only had 2 Black people that actually had that was 1 and 2 that actually had a chance to win, to actually had a chance to actually become president, and you decided not to vote for either one.
Right.
What are we talking here? What the
right?
What the where's my horn at? Where's my horn? Where's my horn?
Right. Blow it, please. Please.
Where's my horn? What the fuck is we doing here? What the fuck is we doing here? What are we
This
doing?
is what I deal with. This is what I deal with all the time. It makes no sense.
All right. I know there's a lot of people that want to talk.
Can I ask you something, Bobby, just real quick? I don't know. I don't know how to politely say this, but it seems like this is where we get every time in the podcast. We have topics to talk about, but it always gets back to why did Ruben do what Ruben did? Why does Ruben do what he does? He's not going to change. There's nothing we could possibly say to him that makes him change. So what happens is we don't ever get into solutions of things that we can maybe change or what we could do. Solutions that the rest of us on here might want to come up with a solution. We're not going to change him, so we waste hours trying to see why he did it, if he's going to ever do it. Even his mom just said he just went to a Black Panther meeting. It's not going to make sense. How can we come to solutions of things other than try to
come on, bro?
Rude do something.
Come back.
You gotta go back.
Come on, bro.
So the reason why I think this is a good conversation to have,
I guess
is because
come on, bro.
you may not catch you may not
fuck out.
Ruben, you are not on mute.
Yeah, you're muted, my brother. We may not get Ruben, but it may give us some type of insight to understand to how we got to where we got to. Donald, I'm gonna give you the floor. And we lost Ruben. I know he'll be back. Donald, go ahead and talk for a minute.
Well, good evening. A couple of you I know. Holly, I know you. I know air traffic control in the house. That's all I'm gonna say. That's all I need to say. Air traffic control in the house. Sitting up here listening, and yeah, we can go back and forth as why, who voted for who, this, that, and the other. But the bottom line is they're for themselves. They're for themselves. They're for themselves. And for those of you on here that are veterans, let me just put this out. And it's funny that when you get on YouTube now, the veterans that aren't our color are going to these town hall meetings, and they are having a fit. The dude in North Carolina just cussed out the representative with a broke off. And so probably a couple weeks ago, when all this uproar about the veterans was coming up and all that stuff, and the secretary of the VA got on there. No, it's not. We're taking care of our vets. And come find out yesterday by talking to a counselor that I go see that right after he got off that call, off that recording, he fired everybody that was there. This is the stuff that's going on. So those that voted, I'm just sitting back now, and I just got my popcorn, and I'm just watching because it's all going down the drain. And and a lot of folk are upset with the Democrats because they're saying, well, y'all not doing anything. But what I'm finding out is that they're just sitting back and let them destroy themselves. When you look at the news and you're on a thing called Signal, and you just send out war plans on what you're going to do. Really? But that's making America great. I mean, so those that, people of color that wanted to vote for Trump. Okay, you about to you going FAFO.
Mm-hmm.
You going FAFO. I'm a preacher. I can't say it, but you know what I'm talking about. FAFO. So the thing is FAFO. You going FAFO. And so the thing is that it's not going to be good. It's not going to be good. I look at what Jasmine Crockett's putting up with now. She said Hot Wheels.
Yeah.
She said Hot Wheels. But nobody ain't complaining when Trump, when he was on the tour, when he was on the campaign tour the first time, talked about the child that was disabled. Yeah, exactly.
That is my last section of the day.
It's amazing that they say and they do stuff, but then if the other side do it, then you call it out.
Yes, completely hypocritical.
It is what it is. Just look, my brothers and sisters, all you that I see on here, just sit back and get your popcorn because they destroying themselves. You're in a vehicle with no brakes that's going down here. What you gonna do? You can't stop it, so let them destroy themselves. They're making fool out of themselves. I sit back and watch. When Trump won, you know what I said? I'm gonna look at all the nighttime hosts. I'm gonna look at Saturday Night Live, the cold opening, because it's gonna have all kind of jokes. And they got all kind of jokes already. I'm just waiting to see what they're gonna do this Saturday night about them. But that's all I got. But it's a mess. It's a hot mess. And I'm just going to sit back and just watch them destroy themselves because that's what they're doing.
Yeah. I just want to say there's so many people that's trying to join the chat. I only can have so many on here. So the room is full right now. Once somebody drop off, I will let somebody else go in. So if anybody is done talking, feel free to let somebody else in. But I want to go because Ruben is back. I want Ruben to be here because I think, like I said, and I agree with you Keith, that especially last weekend, I had a last pod. I had a lot of things I wanted to say that never got a chance to get out because we got to racism and we stayed there. But this again, I need to know for myself. I need to know for our community. And I think you need to know for yourself, like, how do we get here? How do a black man, a pro black man, never vote for a black person in an election? So